Phonetics versus phonology. Let me address a fundamental theoretical question. How phonology is different from phonetics, right? And this is a very interesting comparison and discussion. It is similar to the separation of chemistry from physics and then the separation of sociology from anthropology. So it's like a similar discussion to distinguish phonology from phonetics. All right. So let me give you some comparisons. Phonetics is basically the part of descriptive linguistics through which speech sounds are described, like the human apparatus is described in terms of physical properties, right? Physical and concrete measurements are taken. But phonology is the part of theoretical linguistics. It belongs to theoretical linguistics because there are various theories which are justified, which are explained in the light of phonological analysis, right? Similarly, phonetics is the study of production, transmission, and reception, like how sounds are produced, how they are transmitted, and then how they are received, right, of speech sounds. But phonology is the study of different patterns, that how those different patterns are organized in different languages, the distribution of speech sounds. Specific sounds are discussed, specific phonological system is discussed within phonology, right? Because in phonetics, we are concerned with overall human speech sound. But in phonology, we are concerned with a specific sound system, which is basically a language, right? So in phonology, we are concerned with the distribution of specific sounds, that how they are organized and how they are distributed. Right, and there is one more point, that phonetics is not studying a particular language, right? But in phonology, we are studying a particular language, a specific language. Like in English phonology, we are not concerned with a neutral, general human speech sound, but we are concerned with the specific sounds which are spoken in English by the native speakers of English, and then those sounds are interpreted psychologically with specific meanings. So in phonology, we are concerned with specific sounds and specific patterns of those sounds in a particular language. Right. In phonetics, we are concerned with articulatory and acoustic properties of phones, sound. Articulatory, that which articulator is used, and in which shape, what manner is followed, right? So articulatory and acoustic properties of phones are discussed within phonetics, but within phonology, we are concerned with the sounds of a specific language, that how they are combined, and then how those sounds are changing within a specific context. Like there is a specific sound which is taking place in a particular context, it is pronounced differently. But the same sound, when it is occurring at some other point of time, at some other context, then it is spoken differently, right? And in phonology, we are concerned with phones, specific sound in terms of phonemes, that how meaningful it is, and then allophones, like what are the variants of those specific phonemes, right? So in phonology, we are concerned with phone, phonemes, and allophones, but in phonetics, we are concerned with, through a general opinion, we are concerned with phones. Right, and phonetics is basically the prerequisite for phonological analysis, right? But phonology is the basis for further works in syntax and in morphology, and also in order to describe the orthographic pattern of a specific language, right? So that's also a difference. Then phonetics belongs to the study of all human speech sound which are possible. In phonetics, we can study any language, any sound, right? But in phonology, we are concerned with particular patterns and their interpretation, that how a particular pattern is interpreted, right? So that's the subject matter of phonology. Phonetics concerned with concrete forms, and phonology with abstract form. Abstract forms, basically, that sound, which is phonological sound, a phoneme technically, that is within mind. That's the part of the mental knowledge, the psychological knowledge of native speakers. So that is abstract. But in phonetics, we are concerned with concrete sound with its physical properties. Right, phonetics is the study of the physics of sound. We are concerned with physics. But phonology is the psychology of sounds, that what are associated meaning, how native speakers they associate specific meanings with a specific sequence, and that is phonology. Right? Phonetics, theories of speech production and perception, that how possible human speech sounds are there. That's the subject matter of phonetics, right? And then also the theories of perception, that how those specific sequences are perceived, how they are produced, how they are articulated, and what is the mechanism for perception, right? But on the other hand, phonology, that's the study of the rules of the organization and distribution of sounds. So we are more concerned with rules than production. And when it comes to rules, then that's the subject matter of phonology. Right, let me give you an example that how would we phonetically analyze these two sounds, E, U, right? So while doing a phonetic analysis, we would be concerned with the height of tongue, that what was the position of tongue within our mouth when these sounds are phonetically analyzed, like E or U. So the first very brief analysis says that these are closed sounds, right? Then part of the tongue raised, right? So how was the tongue raised or not? Which part of the tongue was raised? Was it the tip of the tongue which was raised, or the sound was produced from the back of the tongue? So E, U, so E, the tip of the tongue is involved, and then for pronouncing U, the back of the tongue is involved. Similarly, what's the shape of the lips? While producing these sounds, E, so lips are spread, and U, so for U, lips are rounded, right? So we are more concerned with the physical properties. And then, what is the tenseness of the tongue? So that's also the part of the phonetic analysis. And acoustics of the sounds, like what frequencies were there, right? The measurement of frequencies for these two sounds. What was there, F1, what was F2, and then what was F3, and then also the pitches and the loudness. So these are the points for phonetic analysis. And yes, we are also concerned with the length duration of these sounds in milliseconds, right? How long the E sound was and how long U sound was, right? So this is the example of the phonetic analysis for these two sounds. And now if we just phonologically analyze these two sounds, then we would be concerned with, like, for example, distribution, okay? That where do these sound take place, right? E and U in a particular language, like maybe Urdu or English. So we need a particular language and the distribution of these sounds in that particular language. And then variants, right? So what are various forms of E and U, the allophones of these two, right? So that's the subject matter of phonology. And it was a comparison between phonetic analysis and phonological analysis. Right. Let me give you this example, okay? And it would explain psychology versus physics. The first, TABL, table. So the sound is there. The sound is there. But we are concerned with the physics of the sound. All right? But there is no attachment of the meaning to this word table. Okay? But on the other picture, right? When the smiling lady is there, okay, with the table and the image of table above. So when she hears the word table, she attaches it with that object, the object of table, all right? So this is the comparison and the difference, that how phonetic analysis is different than phonological analysis, and how phonetics as a subject is different than phonology, right? And the end point of this discussion is that both of the subjects are overlapping. Both are the very important branches of linguistics, and they are overlapping. Most of the time, we need phonological study for the phonetic sounds, and then we also need, at times, phonetic study of the phonology of specific languages, right? And they are closely related, okay? Because without phonology, we may not be able to fully comprehend phonetic analysis. And then in order to comprehend fully phonological or phonemes of a specific language, we at times go through physical properties of that sound. And then these two are complementing each other, right? So that's the point. And I hope that the discussion on phonetics and phonology is clear now.